My name is Matt Custer. I am the principal here at Chanute Elementary School of approximately 800 kids. And I have been in education. This is my 16th year in education. I was a teacher for 10 years and then principal for the last 6. This technology is more than just providing outcome-based learning and just providing what students are able to learn, and goes deeper into what how students learn and how we can have a greater impact on their ability to learn. A typical solution that you might be presented with technologically usually only focuses on one aspect. So it may be on a specific learning outcome, and so then you see how that technology or how that product or how that solution can get kids to learn something at maybe a quicker rate or a more successful rate, but it doesn't tell us why.
So I really like the idea or the concept of having a robot that could work with one student at a time and give them real individualized attention. Being able to have a tool and a robot that you could use over and over again and pay for once was a nice concept, and especially being able to individualize the students' needs, have tutorial sessions that were individualized for particular students. I really like that concept. Well, there's been a lot of intrigue, a lot of interest. We're here in Huntsville, Alabama, and so there are a lot of people who are incredibly excited about the robots. We have Research Park and NASA here, so there's a lot of engineers and inventors here, so they all want to come and see it, they want to hear about it, they want to know the results after they're interested in the research. The students were ecstatic about it, and I think I was telling you before, a lot of students sometimes will forget paperwork, but they were all bringing in the consent forms, and the ones who forgot it were anxious. Can I please call my mom and get the consent form? They all wanted to work with the robot. So, and yesterday I had multiple students coming up, Dr. Parker, when's my turn to work with the robot? Am I going to get to work with the robot? So it's been received very well, and it's been an exciting thing for us.
My name is Shannon Finley. I am in my 2nd year of teaching here at CES. I thought it was really cool. When I walked by with the students doing it, it was really neat to see the robot working and moving and kind of responding to what they were doing. So, and I know that the kids, it's been a huge attraction as they walk by. They think it's the coolest thing to see this robot moving in this room. Testing it myself, I really felt like it was a really good one-on-one technique that we could use for some of our struggling students. It seemed to break down the problem strategically for them to be able to understand, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. I'm not so sure how it would work as a whole group setting. I can see it being a constant battle with kids fighting over whose turn it is and who wants to speak to, it's ABii. Is the correct term? Okay, so, but I think it would be phenomenal to use one-on-one with those struggling students, because technology is the age that we're going into. They relate to robotics, games, videos, things like that, that it's that connection piece that the kids need these days, and I think this would be that really good connection piece, especially with the way that it's pieced out for them to be able to understand the problems. I think it would be a really good connection piece for them over the summer. I think a lot of times that there is focus on reading during the summer, where we put them up, hey, there's a program at the library, let's try to meet this goal of reading this amount of books, or parents reading to us over the summer, but sometimes I think maybe math is amiss in that discussion. And so I think that if there was something like this that attracted them to our core math, that they would be more entertained with the idea of doing this over the summer and having something like this, that this is really cool for them to do. It makes math cool.
Have you heard them talking about it at all?
They have. They thought it was really neat. I had even more kids ask about it because they were so intrigued. Like I said, they'd walk by the room and see the robot and see the kids interacting with it. But as for the kids that have came back, they thought it was really neat that there was a robot teaching them and not an actual person. So, new age thing. I think that it's really cool. And the kids really thought it was neat. They thought it was really neat.
A math small group, or even after my whole group teaching when I'm pulling kids one at a time to reinforce some skills, and it'll maybe help me identify where my focus needs to be and allow for some individualizing, and which would essentially then help our SPED teachers that have to do that anyways. If I could provide that in the classroom, then that would be, it would my mind, it would help less kiddos to maybe become identified, because they would get more individualized instruction in the classroom rather than that just happening in the resource room.
My name is Gina Spencer. I'm a third grade teacher at Holy Family Catholic School. I've been teaching elementary school for over 20 years. So I've seen a lot of things come and go in education, and lots of different devices and approaches. And I think that ABii is the next wave of technology into school in a positive way, not in the way that we are typically seeing technology used, where it's talking to the children and not with the children. I think that this is what ABii stands apart from other technology that's being used in education today, where it's really one-sided and the children really aren't engaged, and they aren't really being asked to produce any kind of work. The lights, the sound, the way that the robot communicated with the children was very friendly, and I think children who typically might be shy or quiet would not be intimidated by it, and would bring their defenses down, and that they would feel very comfortable talking.